Hey, you there. You probably clicked on this video, looked at the name, thinking that, wait, I should buy this? Ask me this. Do you like the colorful, artistic, stylized games from the PS2, OG Xbox, and Dreamcast era, such as Jet Set Radio or Beautiful Joe? Or do you like other recent games that had that kind of style, like Sunset Overdrive or Neo: The World Ends With You? Do you like fun, fast-paced action combat? Are you into rhythm games? Do you wish to get something new that's actually well priced? Do you enjoy having a fun and zany cast and just a game you want to have fun? Well, my friend, have I got the game for you. Hey everyone, what up? Matt Kaiser here, and, well, I'm reviewing another game, and this one in particular is a very interesting case. Now, Hi-Fi Rush was developed by Tango Gameworks, and is published by Bethesda, and they are the same guys that made both The Evil Within 1 and 2 and Ghostwire Tokyo, and this is a rhythm action game. Was unveiled during Xbox's Developers Direct and even shadowdropped immediately after its reveal. This is also Xbox's recent Japanese exclusive, since games like, say, Lost Odyssey and Infinite Undiscovery on the Xbox 360 back in 2008. It's also more or less a AA title, but with a certain level of polish you'll find in a AAA game. Going back to the days where games during the 6th and 7th generation were a bit more experimental in terms of design and art style. Hi-Fi Rush was released for the Xbox Series and PC on January 25th, 2023. But enough talking about these details. After beating the game myself, I decided not to only review this game, but also let this review serve as a motivation on why you should more or less give this game a shot. So, grab your guitar, get yourself on stage, and let's ready to rock our way into Hi-Fi Rush. So, the story of our game is that our main guy, our hero, named Chai, who dreams of becoming a rock star, heads to the Project Vandelay campus from Vandelay Technologies, volunteering to test out their new cybernetic limb replacement. However, things go a bit wrong when his MP3 player gets accidentally thrown into Chai's body during his own test, which actually embeds into his own chest and allows him to sense the beat of music across his surroundings. This unfortunately registers him as a defect, so all of Vandelay's security robots pursue after him. However, this also gives this new enhancement special abilities for Chai, one being able to turn a grabber stick into an electromagnetic guitar as a weapon. It's also done when he's found by Peppermint and a robotic cat 808, as she's been rebelling against Vandelay Technologies, as she believes Kale, who's the CEO of Vandelay Technologies, has been creating a secret project, one that could involve brainwashing everyone. So with Chai now being a defect and having these new powers, they decide to take down every boss and stop Kel of completing his new project, as well as gathering allies that are also against Vandelay. So yeah, that's the whole story. It's very simple and straightforward to the point, and I think for a game like this, it actually really works. You know that this is a game that doesn't take itself seriously at all. It's all about just having a fun, simple adventure, and what helps cement that really well is the wacky, zany, fun, and lovable characters, all which are really performed well, such as Robbie Daymond as Chai and Erika Limbeck as Peppermint. And other characters like Macaron and especially Cinnamon are also endearing. And don't get me started with Korska. Hoo boy, do I love it so much. The villains are also fun in their own right, a lot of them being just completely over top with their crazy personalities, and their voice actors alone hamming up their performances. All of them are complete standouts due to those aspects, and just very entertaining in comedic ways. There's a lot of things that just made me laugh in general with the humor, and even some that actually just warmed my heart. And this game loves to do 4-4 breaks, and as well pop culture references, such as ones involving like Twin Peaks, Castlevania, surprisingly Xenogears, and, not surprising, a JoJo reference, among many more that I haven't even mentioned. Overall, while the story is simple, the cast of characters do at least make this journey worth going for as a result. And that's a statement I mainly use in games like Metal Gear Rising or Bayonetta, where even if the stories are either stupid or not the greatest, the main characters are so entertaining that you're just in it for the wild ride with them, as you really want to see our heroes take out bad guys in truly epic and crazy fashion. Now we get to probably one of the most appealing things about this game, and that will have to be the overall presentation and art style. Now this game, of course, using Unreal Engine 4, but definitely in a more creative way, having a lot of great shielding and just overall fantastic art direction that makes this game look incredible, and with the intention to resemble similar art styles like say Jet Set Radio and Sunset Overdrive examples. It also really achieves that very well by just looking at it. And on a personal note, this game does remind me of those 3D animated cartoons from Nerd Cops. You guys are a real one if you remember watching those as a kid. And speaking of animated, there are even 2D animated cutscenes, which are both seamlessly and brilliantly transitioned into the game with no load times to boot, before going back to the 3D in-game cutscenes. And well, they absolutely look fantastic. The characters, the bosses, environments, and levels all look vibrant and suit the style for this game. I especially love the designs of the villains, main cast, and even the amount of robot enemies. I played this game on PC, and I have to say, it ran very, very smooth for a very great 60 FPS, with only just a minuscule of frame drops. And as far as I can tell, there weren't any bugs or glitches even. As stated in the intro, that despite this being more of a AAA game at best, well, a AA game, there's definitely a lot of love, attention to detail, and care put into this. So yeah, simply, this game looks amazing. Now we get to the gameplay. So Hi-Fi Rush is a rhythm action game, and you have the standard things like light and heavy attacks, dodging and parry, which you use to attack at the right time, and later have new mechanics like a magnet hook to strap on enemies to keep the flow of combat going, and the main thing that this game has going for is the beat hit. Now occasionally when you do a combo, a circle will appear acting as a beat, giving you the cue to hit at the right time, and if you do, you get a bonus attack, making the combo more complete. And if it's difficult for you, there's a rhythm indicator option to assist that, though you won't be penalized if you do miss the beat hits. There's also a reverb gauge, which are consumed by using energy batteries to perform things like say special attacks or even partner assists, where other members of your crew can be summoned to assist on taking different types of foes. There are also things like say Peppermint blasting enemies with barriers, or Macaron taken down with Z shields. There's also a lot of moves you get by purchasing them at the shop or nearby checkpoints that give you the potential to create any form of combos, on top of having moves for partner specials, where if landing a successful beat hit with the button for said partner special and enough reverb energy, you'll perform a partner team-up attack, and each one for either ground or aerial just looks completely credible. And there's also other forms of items like chips that give you special perks, some that can be either upgraded or just bonuses. There are also other things like mini games that focus on rhythm based, like hitting the buttons at the right time, or QTEs when pairing against certain enemies, and even cases like obstacles that you'll need your partners to call and assist, and other forms of mechanics like the magnet hook, as well as dodging nearby hazards throughout the more linear based platforming levels. Not only that, but there's also some cool set pieces, but what really elevates the gameplay, mainly the combat in general, is the bosses. The bosses in this game are absolutely superb. All of them that can be pretty tough at first, with pulling some very devastating moves and gimmicks they'll throw at you. But these are more being a test of knowing the combat through its best, and using that combat to the fullest against them. All of them are absolutely fun, with my personal favorite being Mimosa. They're very well designed and very creative, and there's not a single boss I dislike at all in this game. The only gripe I do have with the gameplay is the platforming itself, where it's just not as tight as it could have been, and more it just led me to keep falling unintentionally. Not that the platforming is bad or anything, but it could have been a little bit better. But that is just nitpick among a whole ton of praise of everything else it does completely well. And speaking of another thing that this game really does well, that would have to be of course the soundtrack. Great lineup of licensed tracks, and even some original tracks by say the Glass Pyramids that do match up well alongside the licensed tracks, and the overall style of this game. Lots of great rock music here and there, blended well by the excellent sound design of the combat for this game, which adds a whole nice flavor to the ears. Even some of the original tracks were even tailor-made to sound almost similar to the licensed tracks, but also to prevent, well, copyright reasons of course, as this game has an option for streamer mode to be on and off, with streamer mode on, where bosses and other places will have like original similar sounding tracks, while putting streamer mode off will have the licensed tracks. So to prevent this video from being copyrighted, I'll just play the streamer mode on soundtracks for this game. Lastly, let's talk about what this game offers. There's a surprisingly good amount of things to do when playing this game, like challenges, achievements boiling down to doing certain combos, find graffiti, hit the nearest kill golden face, and complete a lot of them to paint this wonderful mural. There's also a training room where you can test out your combos, and even talk to your cast of characters, and of course pet 808 around. But after beating the main story, there's also a post-game, which allows you to not only revisit past levels and finding areas that were once previously inaccessible, handy if you want to get the secret ending which this game has, but it also has a new difficulty setting, as well as a new gauntlet challenge called the Rhythm Tower, which is similar to, say, Devil May Cry's Bloody Palace, and you are also able to unlock costumes for your team. This game took me around 11 hours to beat from the main story alone, and I have to say, all of it was well spent. And there we have it. Hi-Fi Rush was an incredibly amazing and impressive game that truly blew me away of how much just fun it was, and that was the main intention, for a game to go back to the days of not only being experimental with crazy concepts, but also to just be about fun, and for a game of this caliber to be shadow dropped after its reveal, an interesting feat since that's what happened now with the Metroid Prime remaster, as well as being reasonably priced, and even toppled against, say, a big AAA game like Forspoken in the Steam charts. This is no discourse to Forspoken, by the way, I promise. And for it being made by the same team that did 2 horror games and 1 first-person action game, it just shows how impressive this game truly is. Hi-Fi Rush is near perfection, and I would dare say it puts itself on par with games like Metal Gear Rising or Bayonetta 2. It's just that good. Anyone with an Xbox Series or PC, whether you're a fan of character action games, rhythm games, or games that have an art style like Jet Set Radio, Beautiful Joe, Neo The World's End With You, or Sunset Overdrive, definitely check this game out. It's worth the money, and of course it's also on Game Pass as well. This game is just incredible, and for me, it ticks all the right boxes. And has this year of gaming really started out strong, with both Fire Emblem Engage and now this. So, I'm giving Hi-Fi Rush 4.5 808s out of 5. Anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching, so punch that like button, drop down comment, and hit the subscribe button if you're new. I'll see you guys in the next video. Kaiser out.